Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Okay, so what I have here is some, I don't know, you might think it's loud, you might think it's bright, whatever. It looked like fun to me. It's not a real thick paper. And I just thought that this was what I wanted to use today. So here, I'm thinking that we need to make, or what we're gonna try to do is make paper ribbon. So what I'm thinking is about 2 inches. So I'm taking this 12 sheet, I'm going to the 10 inch, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You want it straight, but your measurements is what I'm talking about. Doesn't need to be perfect. So there's 10, and then I go to 8. I'm gonna start out, or maybe, I'm thinking 2, so to be safe, let's do 3 strips. And then to 6. All right. So now, okay, wait. Let me score. And I'm wanting to keep the scores pretty much even. And I think I'm going to score every ½ inch. And I'm going to not score only one until I know for sure. As I really haven't done this before. But it's kind of a thing a lot of people are doing. And I thought, well, let's try. I don't know how they're doing it. So I'm going to try. Did we do it on the Anna Griffin? If we did, I don't remember. We did a lot of folding. And with her, we used text weight paper. So it's possible. I just don't remember doing it. Okay. So I have it scored, so I'm going to do, let me think now, this way. And then this way. And then, nope, that's 2. All right, so that's not going to work because that's not folding the way I want it to. So after, let's just say these are going to be, so here I need to do 1/4 inch. And then a big one, and then a 1/4 inch. And then a big one, and then a 1/4 inch. That's a big one. Might be easier to do it this way anyways. Just to come in and do the 1/4 inch on every other one. I lost track of where it was, though. Okay. Here, and then a 1/4 inch. And then this one, a whole one. I just can't see my score lines. And then a whole one, and then a 1/4 inch, I think. I think I got it. Okay, so big one, and then a 1/4 inch. No, maybe that's not right. I know I could do it if I don't score it, but if it's not scored, it's not going to be neat. So that's definitely not right. Here's what I'm trying to do. So we have a underneath. Let's do this way. So we're coming up, right? And then we're going down. And then we're coming back up. And this has to be a down. And then we need it up. And we're up. And we need to go back down. Fold it. And we're down. And then we need to fold it back up. And then we're going across. And then we gotta go down. And across. And up. And over. Okay. So unless I want that, that's gonna have to be, where's my scored one? So they have the down and the up, and then the down, the over, then the up. No. It's got to be folded this way. And then this way, and this way, and then folded here, and then up here. And then over, and there's a cross, and then down, and over, and then it would be folded here. But that needs to go up, and this needs to go over, and this one needs to fold, and then this one needs to go up, and that one needs to go over. So I actually need to score every other one the right way. This is why, see, I knew I needed 3. So we're gonna do 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, that was too small of a 1/2 inch. There's the 1/2 inch, I think. Yep. Then 1/4 inch, then 1/2 inch, then 1/4 inch. Then we want to go 1/2 inch, then 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch, and 1/4, and then 1/2, and then 1/4, and then 1/2, and then 1/4, and then 1/2, and 1/4, and 1/2, and 1/4, and 1/2 Did I do that wrong? That's the half. Then the quarter, then the half, then the quarter, then the half, then the quarter, then the half, quarter, half, quarter, half. Leaves me with the quarter. Now let's try it. Okay, so we got the 1/4 inch. This is going to go up in there. And then this is our big one. And this one is going to go down. Nope. I messed up. Let me see. I went 1/4 and 1/4. No, I didn't do my 1/2 inch big enough. I must have 2 score lines right there. Okay, then the half. And then this will go up and fold. And we have our half. And we're going to go down and fold. And we have a half. And we're going to go up and fold. And we have another half. And down, fold, up. So every 1/4 is either up or down. Then after this, you have to sew it. You need to take it to the sewing machine. I would not try sewing this by hand. So you would have to go to the sewing machine. Now, I'm not going to do that because, so here is the lace. And this paper is still too thick. So you're going to get this effect. Right? And you might want, you know, to vary it or whatever. But I'm going to try a little different. And I don't know if it'll work. But we're going to see. Because a lot of us that do paper crafts don't sew. I do have a sewing machine set up over there. I can take it over there and sew. But what about the rest of you that don't? So I'm going to stick a little bit of glue in here. And hold it. And a little bit of glue here. And I'm just using right in the middle. Okay. The softer the paper, the softer your ribbon. This paper that I thought would be thin enough is really still kind of thick for it. Okay. I want to see how much it's going to shrink too. Because it should shrink and end up being quite small. And I want it to hold. probably needed a quicker drying glue. Like the Nuvo would dry really quick. I have these big paper clips. Let me try using that. To hold it to glue and see if that's gonna work. Maybe, maybe not. I don't want to use my pretty ones yet. I use some of these plain ones and see if they, well, they're not quite reaching, so no, they're not going to work. This is definitely going to take too long this way. We can't wait this long, right? I do have some Nuvo glue right here. Remember, just a small amount, because even with the Nuvo glue, if you use a big amount, it's going to take it longer to grab. And I suppose I could be doing this from the back. Huh. This one doesn't want to glue down at all. Come on, Nuvo, you're not gonna hold. It's not holding. You could use a tape runner, but I'm looking for some of that. This is oh, maybe use it also. Where's all my? Here we go. Like I know I got some of that. This should hold instant, but it's going to take a little bit to do it. So it depends, I guess, on how bad we want it, right? You have to make sure the tape's down good. Just if it's not down good, when you go to take the holder off, it'll take the whole tape off. So this should hold right away now. No, that doesn't even want to hold. I wonder why. The tape does not even want to hold. It should. You would think something would hold. Put my lid on here. Well, I don't know if that even got on there. No. No. Let me try another one. That one's not working. There we go. Whoa. I guess this Dollar Tree tape isn't that strong. This needs to be glued down. It's just not holding it. Oh, goodness. No matter what I use, it's not holding it. It wants to curl. Come on. Really, there should be a thing sticking out of both of them. That should kind of be the way we want to do it, but nothing wants to hold it down. And I'm wondering if I need to let it just sit for a long while with something heavy on it. This is all folded. I'm going to take glue on this back side. And I'm going to not try to get it down yet. And I'm going to be ready when the time comes. That one's holding now, some of them. Not enough of them. I just want to try to figure out a way where we don't have to sew it. If I take it to the sewing machine, then that's easy, right? Easy. Oh, there goes my plate. Oh, it all fell down. I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to do it up here. And I'm going to bring them all together. Because that shouldn't be too hard at this point. Okay. Bring this over. See if I can get this on here. Get this heavy thing on here. Okay. And let it hold it for a while and see what happens, because if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and we'll have to figure out another way to do it. And I'll have to figure out another way to do it. I think to also, if the paper was a softer paper, it also wouldn't be an issue. So, this is very thin paper. Let's see what happens if I try doing it with this. I just cut a piece instead of bringing my cutter over, and then I'm just gonna fold it. I'm not gonna score it. I'm just basically just trying the different paper. Okay, then I want a bigger. Then we're gonna go small. And then bigger. And then small. The thing about scoring is when you score it, you know you're gonna get an even look, right? By not scoring, I'm not gonna have an even look. Get it even again. Trying to. Oh, what a mess I'm making here, but that's all right. We'll. I do okay until it's time to do this part here and come forward, and that's when I seem to run into the most trouble. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But this is something we can use. You know, when we get all those strips, when we cut, and I'm just going to leave this like this because we got it end here. Okay. This doesn't even need to be glued because it folded nicely on itself. But you're going to want it to hold together, so you're going to want to glue it. Right? Because when you go to put it on a card, well, honestly, when you go to put it on a card, it's going to kind of glue it anyways, isn't it? So I guess this way I wouldn't need it. If we, let me find one of my strips. I have a strip, and we're going to glue it down. Let me do this. Thing about Nuo is it usually dries super fast, so what I'm going to do, I think that's about the right length, and I'm going to kind of make it thinner so it dries faster. And as long as I'm sure that I'm putting this down right on whatever I'm putting it on. See there was no fold. And then that's my end. Oh, I put it upside down, didn't I? I did. Did it catch? No. I'll put it upside down because I wanted that little ribbon piece sticking out on both ends. But if I have the folds right, it's gonna glue down okay. So maybe that's what I need to do with that. This one. No, it's not even staying on the paper. Maybe I did too little bit of glue. A ruffle, that's what it is. A ruffle. We're doing a ruffle. Right? A ruffle. So it's not really sticking to the paper. Of course, this is some weird paper, so maybe this paper won't. Okay, so here's our ruffle. Now if you want to sew, you can sew it. I would think that if we don't have a sewing machine and we want to give that sewn look, and we could get it glued together, that we could put fake stitches on. This is just probably not a good idea. Probably not going to work the way I was hoping it would. So the fake stitches on it, you could do 2 rows if you think that it looks like it needs 2 rows, or you could do a thicker. So you would need to put it on the strips. I don't know if we did ruffles or not in the Anna Griffin thing. Something's telling me you did it, but not like this. So I don't know. Let's see what happened with this. It looks to me like it didn't hold. It's not holding. So let's try putting this on paper and seeing if that works. So you got to get it on straight. Otherwise you have a crooked ruffle. All right, maybe it's gonna work with regular paper better than with this paper. The only problem is now you have no flexibility in your ruffle. So you have to be sure and get the paper, your ruffle on the paper. It's the way you want it to be. So if you want it straight, you better make sure it's going on that strip straight, but I think it's gonna hold. And maybe it's just a matter of getting these pleats right. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's gonna work right there. So then if we take and do our faux stitching on this paper, it's gonna show better. Maybe you only want it puckered up around the top, right? If you only want it puckered up around the top, that's where you're gonna glue it. That's where your sew line's gonna go. And then when you put it, kind of curious about something. I don't know if it would work. I'm gonna put little, yeah, that's taking it off. I can't do that, but if I did that before, it might. Something to look at later on. I was thinking if I put little slits in here, would I then be able to move it a little bit and give it a little bit where it doesn't now have any give? How about using it on a card? Can we use it on a card? I do not believe I have any. I thought I had card blanks up here, but I'm looking and I do not see any. This is a little over 4 1/4, almost 4 1/2 inches. So it would fit on the bottom. Okay. It would fit on the bottom. I'm going to try a different way. I'm not sure if that's a good way or not now that I think about it. Maybe not. See, it's not holding well. I wonder what that is, why that is. Does it just need longer to glue? You ever seen those pleats? They're only in one direction. I'm trying to think how I would describe it, how I would fold it. I'm talking about a pleat that goes like this. And then it's just the one direction. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It would be like a trim to a dress or, I'm not getting it straight. And these are definitely sewn on top when they're sewn. Because it's like a border. It's not going to go in the middle of something, of an outfit for decoration or anything. This is going to be a trim. So, right? So it gathers, I guess that's the word, when it's lace or whatever, it's gathered and sewn together. But if we're doing it as a trim for a card, how would that work? Right. Like, we did some stuff with the Anna Griffin thing, and believe it or not, I cannot remember what we did. You probably can't believe it. This would be cute. I just don't know how exactly we would. As much trouble as I had getting this to stay together. This is a ruffle. No, this is a gather. Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe this is a ruffle. I don't know. I wish I had one of that. Let me go get a card blank. It won't take but a second because they're right over there. Of course. I'm pulling out everything but the sides I want. Here we go. Then I got tons of card blanks. Not 5x7, but these other sizes I got tons of. But then when I want a certain size, it seems like I can just reach in and grab it, and no, then I end up grabbing the wrong size. Let me put my lid back on this new glue. So this would have to be trimmed down, right? It would have to be trimmed down. Let's see what we could do with it. Let us see what we can do. Move that over a little bit. Move this over a little bit. Make room. Oops. Let me use the other side. That should work. Right? No, it doesn't. Okay, I need a solid eye. I never get to use red. Yeah, I'm gonna use red. It's not the same exact red, but it's good enough to work. So here's a way you can do it. If you don't have paper trimmer is not available. Take your paper, line it up, turn it over, and use your card as your guide. If you want to do layers, you don't want it quite lined up, figure out how much of a border you want, and then double that. The reason you double it is because you got to do both sides even usually, if that's the way you decide to do it. But this is my original layer, and I like to have it just a little bit smaller. I don't like mine to overlap, so I'm just doing a little tiny bit over, and I'm going to bring my scissors in. Hopefully I haven't moved it. All right. I don't know how good a job I did just now because I think I might have moved it. Okay. So this will go on here. With just the tiniest bit of border. See, I messed up right here. That's not straight. Or that is, but this isn't. This is a little off. Just the tiniest bit. A lot of times I'll glue it on first, and that way I'm sure the paper's not going to shift. But this time I want to try all of this first. So I got to get it kind of centered where it would go, because I'm going to have to trim some off. And I think about like that. Right, that would be my edge. Well, you don't want your card bare, so you're gonna have to come all the way up. Right, so then we would do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on there. And then we're gonna have to figure out what else we want to put on here. Uh-oh. Why did I do that? I just put glue on the whole thing. I want that little bit of ribbon sticking out. And I'm going to cut this off so that I have that ribbon sticking out. Okay. And then I'm going to come and trim this side. All right. So then this would go here. And what I did is I did my balloon sideways, so you always got to pay attention to that. So if I was doing it, I would do another one and make sure my balloons are going the right way. Always pay attention to where you're going to be scoring it. Okay, so instead of going how I cut it here, I should have been cutting it going across this way. And then my balloons would have been upright. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just pick some of the balloons. And I'm going to take these. You could just cut one out. You don't have to cut a group. I'm going to cut a group. I'm cutting a little bit bigger than I need to, just so that I can come in later and trim it up. Okay, and we're gonna get in a little bit closer. Try to do the right outline. The thing with this paper is that blue in between the strings and stuff. But I'm gonna kind of ignore it. I mean, I don't want that to look necessarily like a balloon there. So I'm gonna kind of, I don't want it to look like I moved it for a balloon. That makes sense. Cut around a balloon, whatever you want to call it. So I got a balloon here, and I could come in and trim this out, and if you start doing that, you're gonna have to come in here and trim that out. So you have to kind of pick and choose what you're gonna do. I don't know. Let's see how this is gonna turn out. I don't usually have the paper with the blue background like this. I usually cut like one object out. So again, I'm cutting it a little bit bigger than I need to. And I'll come back and trim. Let's see if I can get a good looking card out of this. I was hoping my smaller scissors, they're here somewhere. I'll just go ahead and use these, I guess. I got these that I don't ever use. I want to make sure and get rid of this other string. And that's just what I chose to do. You may not choose to do the same thing. I'm gonna stick this there. And then, wait a minute. You might want to go with a bigger happy birthday, but I'm going to use this. And this is Jane sent to me. So those will get glued down and this will go up there. I'm not worried about doing it like, you know, perfect because I'm doing the video. So like, okay, but we got to be a little bit quick. We got to be a little, we can't just take our time and because people don't always want to see everything or that long a video. That's what it is really more is people get tired of the videos if they're too long. Yep, that'll cover the bottom, and that's what I'm concerned about. Being big enough to cover the bottom. There we go. And there we go. That's kind of cute. Oh, I haven't glued it onto the card blank. Oh, silly me. What's wrong with me? Okay. Make sure your card blank is in the right way and stick it on. Can you imagine doing this in pinks and doing it for a little girl? And just that little bit of white edge on there, actually, with this card, helps a little bit. I don't know if you can see it very well in the video, but because there's so much white in here. See if that Nuvo glue caught that. All right, everybody. We are done with this card. We did it. So a strip of paper. Do your lines, your stitch lines. I might have needed to do that thicker. I could maybe come in and do another 1 or 2 lines just to show it a little bit better, but I like it. I thought this was going to be a fail video. It wasn't. A little thick for the mail. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, if you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Jane, for the sentiments. Everybody, please have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.